Chapter 91 Battery Breakthrough. You are listening at novelfold.audio. The drone team of Dajiang Company arrived soon and settled in the experimental site next door not long ago. Huaxia Electric Power Group finally gave a reply. After discussions between the upper leaders and the company's senior management, it agreed to cooperate with Yidian Group to develop wireless power transmission technology. Liu Sen was very happy to receive this news. Yidian Group is finally going to come to the front from behind the stage. When the time comes, it will be time for another personnel expansion. Yidian Group is still too young, although it has been riding on the car of Huaban before, its own reputation is still not very loud, and many users still think of Huaban first. Only by releasing an independent fist product for everyone to use can Yidian have a louder reputation and attract more talents. After all, the last one appeared as an accessory. How many people will remember who provided the technology for this accessory? There are hundreds or thousands of accessories in a mobile phone. How can a user remember which company these accessories come from? And Yidian's reputation outside is mostly the reputation of wine, which overshadows the reputation of technology companies. When it comes to Yidian Company, the first thing that comes to mind is that it produces wine, and those professionals will think of it. Why would he, a math, computer, and electronics major, go to a wine production company? Is he going to count sales, make reports, or be a network administrator, or repair printers and electrical appliances? That's why he wants to make the reputation of wireless power transmission directly come to the fore, as an independent product release, change the public's impression of Yidian. Don't be like Baidu, where the first impression is that it is a search engine, an advertiser, or a spam ad. When you mention ABA, you think of online shopping. When you mention Penguin, you think of games, plagiarism, and maybe Pizza Hut. When you mention Huaban, you think of a mobile phone manufacturer. Yidian Group has once again vacated a laboratory, which is dedicated to the power group to work with Yidian to study high-power power transmission. After all, if you want to promote it comprehensively, you still need to be able to support all electrical appliances. It is impossible to have separate wiring and sockets at home because of several air conditioners and induction cookers. Then what is the use of this short-distance wireless power transmission area? The whole house still needs to lay lines. When these are solved, there will really be no need for any wires at home, and we also need to study wireless power repeaters, so that all wireless transmitters can be connected. So does a community only need one cable to connect to the repeater, and the repeater directly transmits power to the wireless regional power transmitter of each household? Then the wireless regional power transmitter of each household transmits wireless power to each appliance. This will be a big change. This is where the newly established experimental group specializes, and electronic and information researchers are also studying some places that can limit some disadvantages and constantly optimize the worry-free electricity app. Just when the staff in the laboratory here are devoting all their energy and contributing their own efforts to do research that affects human society and future development, Liu Sen in another group finally succeeded in upgrading battery technology. The energy storage battery is completed, and the energy storage efficiency is greatly improved under the same volume, and the new battery structure is completed. The battery density reaches 10,000 Wh/kg. Moreover, after testing at low temperature, the battery capacity will not decrease, and it can also operate normally in low-temperature environment. High temperature is also very safe and stable. This is much stronger than the current ternary lithium battery and lithium iron phosphate battery, and the battery cycle life has also been greatly improved. The number of full charge and discharge times has reached 20,000 times without attenuation. Attenuation will occur after more than this number, and attenuation will be 1% for every 20,000 times. It should be noted that the number of full charge times of ternary lithium batteries and lithium iron phosphate batteries is 2,000 to 300 times without attenuation, and the attenuation rate will become faster and faster, and the production cost is very low through calculation. In other words, if the original battery cost of an electric car is 50,000, then the new battery with the same power is only 500 yuan, and the vehicle will be much lighter, which will directly lead to a larger vehicle space, faster starting speed, and a much longer mileage. If this battery is launched, it will be a super earthquake in the battery market, which will promote the electric vehicle market, and gasoline vehicles will fall into a trough. Liu Sen did not intend to announce this information, but temporarily used it as the company's reserve technology for internal use. After all, the emergence of wireless Power has actually solved a lot of power anxiety. After the latest wireless power transmission is launched, the amount of battery power in the civilian market will not matter so much. This battery will still be used for military purposes and solar energy storage projects. Liu Sen directly contacted Li Han, a military personnel who came last time. Major Li, I have a new technological breakthrough here and want to cooperate with you. Hello, Mr. Liu. I don't know what kind of technological breakthrough it is. Li Han was also quite surprised to receive Liu Sen's call, and his attitude towards Liu Sen was particularly good. In the last cooperation, the special equipment has been improved a lot, and the price is less than half of the previous similar equipment. He was commended by the leader, therefore, Li Han is still very interested in the technological breakthrough that Liu Sen mentioned. It's hard to say, and the technology is sensitive, so we need to report to a higher level. Liu Sen needs him to contact the higher level. His technological breakthrough needs to be kept secret. The most important point is that there must be a lot of demand for the factory that produces this product. He needs to use this product as soon as possible, so he can only contact the military directly and need their confidentiality unit to process it on his behalf. After hearing this, Li Han wanted to come and see before making a decision, but Liu Sen directly refused, saying that the level involved must be very high and must be understood by a higher level. Liu Sen apologized, not because he didn't believe the other party, but because it was really important, and told him that it was battery technology. After hearing this, Li Han didn't ask too much, and after hanging up the phone, he contacted his superiors. The next day, a person came to Yidian, Wu Qing, who was in charge of equipment logistics procurement. Wu Qing received reports from all levels yesterday, and he also attached great importance to Liu Sen's request. After all, Yidian has made a lot of moves recently after their investigation. Optical wireless power transmission is also a big move, which is very useful for many military equipment, and many equipment can be changed. This time, the other party proposed to report to the upper level separately, so he also attached great importance to it. Liu Sen introduced their research results to the other party and made a detailed introduction to the performance of the battery, such as the performance is 50 to 100 times that of today's batteries, and it is very safe, and it also performs very well in various extreme environments, and it is cheap. In order to keep it confidential, Liu Sen did not produce it in his own factory, and needed the help of the state to complete it, so that the battery technology would not be leaked. The produced batteries are used by the state and Yidian company. Wu Qing heard about the powerful battery and was a little skeptical. He usually purchases batteries and has come into contact with batteries, but how could a battery with this performance appear? Mr. Liu, are you sure that what you said is true and not a joke? Wu Qing asked Liu Sen seriously. I confirm. Liu Sen also nodded seriously, and then picked up a battery in the drawer and said, I have a test sample here, you can take it back and test it. Wu Qing looked at the battery in front of him, and finally solemnly put it into the briefcase he brought. If it is really as Liu Sen introduced, then one of the big guys needs to be adjusted and replaced. That aircraft carrier is electromagnetic catapult, which requires a lot of electricity. He knows about the energy storage battery used before. It is much worse than this battery, and the cost is very high. If this one is true, then we must select a factory to produce it as soon as possible so that it can be put into use as soon as possible. Then the performance of that great country's heavy weapon will definitely be improved a lot. Thinking of China's aircraft carrier fleet shuttling across the world, I feel very excited. I will find someone to test it. If it is true, then we will discuss what you said and let you know when the time comes. I hope you can be faster. I hope this is a good start of cooperation. Liu Sen said to Wu Qing, the last special glass cooperation can't actually be considered cooperation. It can only be said to be a trading relationship. Through this time, Liu Sen wants to know what the top management will do, which will also determine Liu Sen's approach to many things in the future. Although the battery this time is very strong, it is not a problem for him at all. At most, he can study a stronger one again. Chapter 94, Secret Meeting, Expanding the Scope of Cooperation. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The live broadcast is going on, but new online terms have appeared. Liu Sen's little bit of achievement. Netizen, what the hell is a little bit of achievement? Is this a new unit of measurement? A little bit equals 250 billion, netizen, what little bit of achievement? That's a billion points, netizen, sure enough, I came to the world to make up the numbers, netizen, who dares to brag about having a little bit of achievement in the future? Be honest in the future, netizen, Rongcheng will not be brought into the trillion club by Liu Sen alone, netizen, the above person, that will definitely happen. Even if there is no growth now, there will be 750 billion by the end of the year, this is just his company. How much is the consumption of so many employees in the company? All kinds of discussions around billion points and Rongcheng have never stopped. The on-site commentary continued. Liu Sen demonstrated and said a sentence. I believe that the future direction of science and technology will have many deviations, and our lives will also have many changes. Therefore, today I invited many industries to participate in order to provide better services for everyone. Ho Yongtao from the power company under the stage walked to the stage, took the topic to introduce himself, and introduced the cooperation project between the power company and Yidian group, holding an electric meter of similar size to the usual one. He introduced, after our joint efforts, we have overcome many difficulties and finally achieved short-distance full-power wireless transmission of electricity. Through the electric meter, all electrical appliances in the home can receive electricity wirelessly, such as TVs, refrigerators, air conditioners, induction cookers, etc. In the future, home decoration will no longer worry about the layout of wires and sockets. The position of home appliances can be adjusted at will, and the cost and difficulty of decoration can be greatly reduced. In the future, fires due to aging circuits will no longer occur in families. Charging electric vehicles is no longer a problem. You don't need to enter the elevator and push it upstairs. You can also charge it downstairs without connecting to external wire sockets. Electric vehicles no longer need charging piles, reducing charging worries. Our regional wireless power supply will gradually become popular and open to the whole society. Ho Yongtao's passion for the introduction was high, and Liu Sen finally continued. Have you ever thought about such a scene? I believe it will be gradually completed. Of course, all electrical appliance manufacturers will be required to participate. In the future, let us witness it together. After Liu Sen finished speaking, all the people sitting in the lower room applauded. Revolution requires the participation of everyone. At the same time, they also understand that they can participate or not, but companies that do not participate are destined to be eliminated in the near future. The press conference lasted for more than 2 hours, full of dry goods. All the live broadcast rooms did not stop until the end, and the netizens in the live broadcast room reacted, one fixed position. The other 5 were all shot by drones, without interruption in the middle, and even one drone was controlled to shoot the entire Rongcheng from above. Normal drones have long been out of power, but these are operating normally, indicating that Dajiang's drone must be used Yidian's wireless power transmission technology. It also proves from the side that Yidian's technology is really successful, not just in the laboratory. And large-scale promotion is not a problem. Everyone imagined the application scenarios mentioned at the press conference. While the internet was discussing it, Liu Sen had already taken all the guests into a new conference room. The next thing was the main topic they discussed. The media was not allowed to enter this meeting. After all, there were business secrets behind it. In the conference room, everyone was a frequent guest on the TV network. Liu Sen looked down and said, "Everyone, you are all leaders in various industries in our country. I believe you have guessed the purpose of calling you here this time. You are all my predecessors, or elders. This time I hope that everyone will gradually use wireless transmission technology and eliminate wired appliances. This is beneficial to everyone. This is a new market. Even machines that have been produced and sold can launch modification services." Liu Sen stopped and gave, how to calculate the usage fee. Before, they saw that petals and fruits contributed so much patent fees. "Mr. Liu, we can join, but how do you charge for your patent licensing fees? It's too high and we can't afford it." The speaker is a senior executive of DD Electric Vehicle, and this is what everyone is concerned about. Liu Sen looked at everyone and said with a smile, "Actually, don't worry, I can't charge a high fee, nor will I set a fixed fee directly. I still adopt the authorization strategy of petals and fruits, charging 2% of the selling price of your products. When petals and fruits were authorized before, the fee was 20%. The reason for such a high fee is that there is an exclusive 6-month usage fee. After another month, the fee will be reduced to 2%. After all, with large-scale promotion, more products will be used, and this base will be raised to a higher level, and the annual fee will not be lower than before. This is a global monopoly technology, and almost all electrical appliances will be equipped with his wireless power transmission technology. And many electrical appliances that use his technology will actually reduce some costs. For example, the power cord of a rice cooker. The cost of a power cord plus the internal interface is estimated to be 10 yuan, the cost of a rice cooker is 200 yuan, and the patent fee of 2% is only 4 yuan. This is really cost-saving and beautiful. The price of a DD electric car is 3,000 yuan, and the patent fee is 60 yuan, which is the price of a charger. With wireless computing, there is no need to configure a charger. It can be said that there is no impact on the original price of the product. Some companies are very happy, but some people think it is unfair and think the fee is too high. Their company produces high-value products, so they will pay a lot of money. Why do they have to spend dozens or even hundreds of dollars when low-end industries only cost a few yuan or even a few cents? Liu Sen ignored the ideas of some people. If a fixed price is set uniformly, many small household appliances will not be able to use his products. After all, many small appliances are only 10 yuan or even lower. If a fixed patent fee of 5 yuan is charged, these small appliances will definitely not use his technology. Then it will be impossible to promote wireless power in the whole society, and these large or high-end products often have very high profits, so it doesn't matter if you charge more. Everyone, if you agree with my suggestion, you can sign the contract directly, and after signing the contract, I will give you 100 wireless power receivers and a regional power transmitter each. Let everyone take it back to improve and upgrade their own products. Liu Sen has already established a new factory in advance to produce wireless power receivers, regional power transmitters and public power transmitters. The cost of mass production is very low. The power receiver is only 5 cents, the small regional power transmitter, 10 meters, is only 5 yuan, the medium regional power transmitter, 50 meters, is only 10 yuan, the large regional power transmitter, 100 meters, is only 20 yuan, and the public power transmitter, 10 kilometers, is only 200 yuan. Later, the cost will be reduced again in larger scale production. The power receiver will be sold at double the price, and the others will be increased by 10 to 100 times. In order to prevent cross-selling, each product shipped has information records. Once it is inconsistent with the factory purpose, the worry-free power app will fail during the authentication connection and will be unusable. Chapter 95. Prepare for a rainy day. You are listening at NavelFold.audio. See the situation. Liu Sen did not urge them, but sat quietly aside, thinking about the future development of the company. After some discussion, some companies directly signed a contract with Yidian. After all, there are only benefits and no disadvantages for them. Some companies replied that they need to report back to the company and need to go through the discussion of the board of directors to determine whether to cooperate. Some companies think that they have a monopoly in the industry. And Yidian's licensing fees are too high, and they can definitely reduce the fees through negotiations. Mr. Liu, we still think that your patent licensing fees are too high and should be reduced. A Mediterranean executive of a company said. Liu Sen, who was thinking about the problem, was interrupted by this somewhat arrogant voice. He looked up at the person in front of him and asked, "Hello, who are you?" "I am the manager of a certain company, my name is Rongcheng." Mediterranean replied. "Oh, then how much do you think is appropriate?" Liu Sen heard the other party's introduction and knew that the other party was a lighting company, and their products had a market share of 70% in the market. Mediterranean heard that Liu Sen was so easy to talk to, and instantly became confident. It seems that his company still has a lot of weight. I think 1,000th is more appropriate. After all, our annual sales have reached 6 billion yuan, which means you have earned an extra 6 million yuan. His tone revealed arrogance and charity. Several people who were close to him heard the price, and their eyelids twitched a few times. and they instantly moved away from the Mediterranean. Liu Sen heard the other party's words and instantly felt that he was too easy to talk to. This is not a simple bargaining and discount, but a direct discount. This is a 20-fold difference. Is he taking himself too seriously? Does he care about the millions of income? The use of wireless technology can save you 5% of the cost, and the shape can be more beautiful, and the market share can be increased by one section again. Since the other party is reluctant to pay such a small amount of money, then simply don't use it. It is our company's honor to cooperate with you. I think you have too much 6 million, and I am ashamed. We will discuss your quotation internally. Liu Sen said to the other party that the visitor is a guest, and he can't just kick him out, otherwise he will appear to be rude. The other party was very happy to hear this and quickly said, okay, then I'll wait for good news. The Mediterranean left the meeting room happily, and the people who saw all this next to him instantly felt that the Mediterranean had an IQ problem and shook their heads instantly. Liu Sen saw the actions of several people and couldn't help asking. Do you also think that the cost is high and want to reduce it a little? Hearing Liu Sen's question, the faces of several people changed instantly. The faces that were originally a little rosy instantly faded and became a little pale, and then instinctively began to shake their heads. No, we have no problem at all. They didn't want to follow the Mediterranean man's back path. This guy wanted to wait for cooperation news when he went back. This is a fart. It is estimated that if the boss knew about it, he would be kicked out of the company directly. After the meeting, Liu Sen found Yidazue directly and invited him to visit his home the next day. The two companies have cooperated very happily during this period, and Yidazue did not refuse and agreed directly. The next day, Liu Ying took Yidazue to Liu Sen's home. Brother Yu, welcome to visit. Liu Sen saw Yidazue and hurriedly welcomed him. You're welcome, Brother Liu. Yidazue was obviously very happy. After all, the guests at home were all close people. Brother Yu, at noon, I'll cook a few of my specialties for you to try. Then I'll have to taste them carefully. Your wine is a specialty, but I don't know how to cook. The two chatted about family matters and daily life for a while. Finally, Liu Sen asked, Brother Yu, you also know that the wireless charging I am promoting now requires chips. Although it is not very high-end, if it is fully promoted, the demand will be too large. Indeed, although it is all low-end, it requires tens of billions or even hundreds of billions. Moreover, the current chips are very tight, and those who produce chips will not be willing to produce these low-profit chips for us. The reason why we can supply so much in the front is because of your petals and fruits. Liu Sen said this with a low tone. Our chip technology has always been relatively backward, and there are very few machines that can produce and manufacture chips. Brother Yu, let me say something that worries me. Our company now needs low-end chips, which is a little better. When our company's technology improves, the power transmission coverage will be wider, and more people will be connected at the same time, then more high-end chips will be needed to handle it. Liu Sen expressed his later concerns. Yidazue fell silent after hearing Liu Sen's words. Yidian is not afraid of the blockade and targeting of foreign companies now, so it has also targeted fruit before, but in the future, the company will definitely develop. Then, like their company, it will be strangled by foreign countries. It will have superb design capabilities and the most patents like Huaban, but it cannot be produced and used. For example, a wireless power transmission device that can cover 100 kilometers or 1,000 kilometers has been developed, but it cannot be produced and sold without high-end chips. Just like Huaban can design the world's top chips, but no one will produce them for them. Brother, I must plan ahead. Our company will definitely be sanctioned in the future, and then there will be difficulties. So I want to invest in the chip manufacturing industry now and lay the foundation in advance. You have also been doing this before, so. Liu Sen did not continue to speak, and Yidazue also understood Liu Sen's purpose after hearing this. Liu Sen wanted to work with Huaban to study and overcome difficulties, but how to calculate this cooperation? Although he welcomes Yidian's joining, brothers still have to settle accounts, let alone two companies. I will report back, and the company's top management will definitely discuss it. I can't guarantee the result. Liu Sen knows his business. He can also study it through the golden finger, but it will take a long time. If he can cooperate with Huaban, he will definitely be able to develop results faster, but the other party doesn't know, and will definitely have some concerns. After all, Yidian is not a professional but enters this industry as a novice. The chip industry is notoriously high threshold. Time passed quickly. When it was almost noon, Liu Sen went to cook. Soon, several of his signature dishes were ready. Yudazue was also very happy eating, and kept praising Liu Sen's cooking skills as good as those of a chef. Liu Sen looked at Yudazue who was leaving, and felt a little melancholy. He really didn't want to waste too much time. It seemed that he had to rely on himself in the end. Chapter 96 Further Research. You are listening at NovelFold.audio. Liu Sen entered the studio and began to systematically look through books related to chip manufacturing. The design content was really huge. No wonder high-end chips are so difficult to manufacture, the foreign company arrogantly said. I can't make it even if I give you the drawings. In the next few days, Liu Sen kept researching and found that there are many types of chips, including carbon-based and silicon-based. The current mainstream is silicon-based, with mature technology and low price. Liu Sen checked the types of silicon-based chips again and found that there are glass chips, but the technology is not mature, and the advantages and disadvantages of the material are obvious. Glass chips have many advantages. Point 1. Good chemical properties. Point 2. Excellent optical properties. Point 3. Easy to photolithography and etching. Point 4. Diverse bonding processes. The disadvantages are very large, very fragile and high processing costs. Seeing this, Liu Sen had an idea in his mind. Glass was the material he played with first and the material he knew best. The disadvantages of traditional glass are not present in Yidian glass, and these disadvantages have been transformed into advantages. It is very strong, and under his catalyst, it is very easy to process and has strong plasticity, and the cost is very low, suitable for large-scale use. In addition, Yidian's glass has very strong heat dissipation performance, almost constant temperature, which can ensure that the performance of the chip will not be affected by temperature. In this way, his special glass material can be fully used for the application of new glass chips. Thinking of this, he immediately established a new company. Yidian Semiconductor. He directly invested 50 billion yuan and set up a factory at the junction of Rongcheng and Jinling. The semiconductor factory is only 10 kilometers away from Yidian Glass, which is convenient for the connection between the two factories. And he directly spent a lot of money to buy a 54 nanometer domestic lithography machine, which will be delivered in 1 month. At that time, the semiconductor factory can also be completed. He bought another 90 nanometer lithography machine, which was directly placed in the laboratory of Yidian Group. Liu Sen needed to verify his idea and used a 90 nanometer lithography machine to start processing this kind of glass. During the processing, he found that the catalyst he had used in the glass factory before could be used directly as photoresist, and there was almost no big difference in the efficacy and use of photoresist. This was something Liu Sen had never expected. At that time, the catalyst developed could be used as photoresist because the special glass was too strong to be processed and recycled, and because of the use of this catalyst, the difficulty of chip processing has been reduced a lot, because this catalyst makes special glass easy to process. After processing, after removing the catalyst, the glass chip is extremely strong. Liu Sen's expected progress was greatly improved at once. After many debugging, the first piece was finally completed. After packaging and testing, it was found that the performance was twice as strong as that of chips of the same specifications. This made Liu Sen know that Yidian special glass can be used directly as a wafer, which is much easier to process than silicon wafers and the cost is much lower. Yidian glass can be directly expanded again, a dust-free workshop can be built, and glass wafers can be produced. Liu Sen directly used the gold finger to change the performance of the glass chip that had just been produced, and then adjusted the progress of the 90 nanometer lithography machine to 9 nanometers. Then he began to absorb the knowledge in his mind. There was too much knowledge. Even though Liu Sen had read a lot of professional books before, the knowledge of lithography machine manufacturing was like a vast ocean, plus there were new processes and designs for chip glass production. Before leaving the laboratory, Liu Sen restored the lithography machine to 90 nanometers again to prevent others from seeing it. Yidian Semiconductor kept recruiting researchers from all over the country, but it was too difficult to recruit people. After all, the domestic semiconductor industry was indeed too backward and there were few practitioners. After paying a high price, it finally recruited thousands of people from all over the country, and many of them were poached from scientific research institutes. As long as everyone came to Yidian, they would be given 2 million yuan for settling in, and the monthly salary was as high as 100,000 yuan. If they made achievements in research, they would have extra bonuses. After arranging everyone to the laboratory to study according to Liu Sen's ideas, Liu Sen would not care about it for the time being, just check every now and then to prevent their research from going astray. As the temperature gradually rose, Liu Sen began to swim in the rooftop pool again, and then lay on the lounge chair on the rooftop to relax, teasing Luing, Dan, and Lu, looking at the night sky and feeling the depth of the universe. Liu Sen thought that one day he would enter the deep space of the universe, seeing a very bright object passing by in the sky. Ordinary people might see stars, but Liu Sen saw it very clearly. It was a little blurry at first, but after he wanted to observe carefully, the picture in the starry sky instantly became clear and felt like it was magnified. Finally, Liu Sen confirmed that it was the space station launched by China. Space stations are spliced together one by one. If his wireless charging system is used in space stations, then it can save a lot of space and reduce the total amount a lot. His later plan is that Yidian company needs to launch satellites into space, and it will launch a lot of them. Satellites in space can use wireless power transmission. In this way, all functional parts on the satellite have power receivers, which saves a lot of space and weight, and is also very convenient for maintenance. In case of problems, the functional parts can be directly replaced, which is very convenient. In this way, satellite construction will be very simple and the cost will be greatly reduced. The money that could only make one can make two. The manufacturing cycle that takes 1 month can be completed in just 1 week, and the worry-free electricity app can also assist in checking faults. If any accessory is not connected to the power supply or the power supply is abnormal, it means that there is a problem with that accessory and it can be repaired or replaced. And in the future, can spaceships, fighters, etc. also use this method to make all functional accessories independent. What functions need to be used can be directly assembled or replaced directly if they are damaged. Liu Sen thought of this and immediately told Luing about his ideas. Inger, you will call a meeting with the heads of various research groups tomorrow morning. Okay, brother senior. Luing agreed and picked up her phone to start editing the memo. The next day, in the large conference room in the laboratory of Yidian Group. Everyone, I have an idea, that is, in the future spaceships, space fighters, satellites, etc., can each functional module be independent, and each module can be directly disassembled, so that production and construction will be very simple. Liu Sen looked at everyone who had gathered and spoke. Hundreds of heads of various disciplines in the conference room were stunned when they heard Liu Sen's idea. This jump is too big, the company has not involved in this business. Why do we suddenly have to study space fighters and satellites? Why did you suddenly think of this aspect? Xian Guoli, the head of the laboratory, hesitated for a moment, but still asked. Isn't this for the future development to be anticipated in advance? Is it possible to do this? Will this method become the direction of future development? After all, our wireless power transmission provides this possibility. Liu Sen explained directly, the development of a company cannot be buried in hard work, but also needs to look up from time to time to see the future. After hearing Liu Sen's words, everyone began to think about the possibility of this happening. Everyone realized that this situation is not a possibility but a necessity for future development. Everyone was impressed by Liu Sen again. Liu Sen is not only a top expert in scientific research, but also has forward-looking ideas for the future. Chapter 97 Highly Modular Cars. You are listening at NovelFold.audio. Liu Sen proposed the topic, and all the researchers opened their minds and began to discuss and think. I think this situation will definitely happen. The future engines, cockpits, and various functional cabins will definitely develop in this way, but we are too far away from discussing this now. After all, we have not involved this aspect, and complete fantasy may not have any effect. The speaker is a young researcher named Xing Gang. the leader of the electronic engineering team. Indeed, although the possible development direction and trend of the future are anticipated, it is too vague to think about these now. Liu Sen nodded. Team leader Zheng is right. It is right to look to the future, but the focus is still now. I think we can use this modular research in cars. After all, cars are the easiest thing for us to contact now, and cars are also a product with a very high degree of industrial integration. Changing the appearance and some accessories is completely equivalent to a small spacecraft. Zheng Gang saw that his idea was approved, and then said, as soon as this statement came out, everyone in the entire conference room felt a sense of sudden enlightenment. It is indeed possible to study cars and conduct modular research after decomposition. Electric cars are also relatively simple, and this is also fully capable of research now. When all the ideas can be perfectly realized in the car, then a slight change in space will definitely be possible. Of course, there is another thing to do, which is to study and reserve electric propulsion engine technology now. This engine uses electricity to generate thrust, also known as an electric rocket engine. Their company's wireless power transmission is definitely a good match with the electric rocket engine, and it is also an important part of the future strategy. Mr. Qian, we are now setting up a new project team. You will serve as the director and Zheng Gang will be the deputy director. You will select the personnel and specialize in the modularization of automobiles. You can report the recruitment requirements for the missing personnel. Set up an electric propulsion engine RD team, and I will take the lead. After Liu Sen finished speaking, he asked everyone to go back and continue research. The people in the laboratory continued their previous work, while the new workers began to start new research and development. The first thing was to recruit several engineering designers, car designers, etc. And bought a few electric cars on the market, disassembled them, and then optimized all the accessories. Finally, one thing is certain, the chassis is a whole that cannot be changed, or it cannot be changed. Otherwise the strength of the car will not meet the safety requirements. And then the shell, what can be operated are motors, dashboards, control screens, speakers, controllers, lamps, air conditioners, etc. As long as they use electricity, they can be modularized. All these accessories can be applied with wireless power transmission technology, and the vehicle can no longer be connected to all electrical equipment by wires. In this way, there will be no circuit fires, etc. At present, batteries cannot be replaced, because the current large-scale power transmission equipment can only cover a radius of 10 kilometers, and cannot support high power output. However, short-distance 100-meter regional power transmission can charge it. No more worrying about the charging position and charging pile. In this way, the entire vehicle is directly an integral frame, and then various accessories are directly installed in the frame to complete the assembly. The assembly of the car will be very simple. After all, it does not involve any lines. You only need to connect with the worry-free electricity app to complete the power supply of the whole vehicle, adding a small regional power transmitter, 10 meters, directly to the car battery can cover the entire vehicle, so that the mobile phone can also be directly connected for charging, and other refrigerators and driving recorders in the car can be connected for use. After more than half a month of research, all accessories have been modified, and the appearance has basically not changed. The two cars purchased before, the Yidian and Wuling, are used. Liu Sen stood in front of the two car frames, and many people were watching on the side. Start installing accessories. Qian Guoli ordered. Zheng Gang heard the order and immediately started to assemble the vehicle with the members of their group. The first thing is to install the battery directly on the frame, and install a regional transmitter on it, then began to install instruments, headlights, horns and other things. Soon an empty shell car was installed, and then after power was turned on, all the equipment worked normally soon. After trying to drive it, it could drive normally. Everyone cheered. It actually replaced all the lines, and the transmission of all instrument data was also completed directly through a local area network. The team members upgraded the ports for wireless network and wireless power transmission and merged the two ports, and the power transmission has also been fully connected automatically, which can be set directly on the worry-free power. For example, the dashcam can be directly set to power 24 hours a day, and these controls can be operated by mobile phone or directly on the central control platform of the car. However, all accessories will be integrated under an algorithm. If there is a problem with high-priority accessories such as motors and brakes, the vehicle will not move, and a prompt will be directly displayed on the central console, and the mobile phone will also receive the information at the same time. For low-priority accessories, if there is a problem, it will only prompt if it does not affect driving. In this way, if any accessory has a problem, ordinary car owners will repair or replace it according to the prompt, because all accessories are modular. Maintenance is particularly convenient, and you can buy and replace them yourself, and the disassembly and assembly process of all accessories is displayed in the mobile phone or central control with animation, ensuring that everyone can learn it easily. The new vehicle ran a few laps in the company, driving slowly. The whole vehicle became lighter than before, and the internal space was larger than before. The two vehicles are constantly being tested, and the relevant data are constantly being collected and improved. The appearance and interior design of the new vehicle are also constantly modified in the design department. The new vehicle drawings are very concise. The interior space of the small car is larger than some C-type vehicles. The appearance is also very beautiful, and the streamlined appearance is also very pleasing to the eye, and the various accessories are also very small through design. On the new vehicle, some positions can be used as long as they are inserted, and a small part needs to be reinforced with screws. The theoretical design speed of the vehicle is very fast because of its small weight and fast acceleration. Liu Sen did not contact other vehicle production companies for production and processing this time, but prepared to build a factory for production by himself. He needs to have large-scale industrial processing capabilities. After all, when entering space in the future, many things need to be processed and built by ourselves. Now we need to improve our industrial processing capabilities and large-scale manufacturing experience. He believes that after everything is completed, this vehicle can be delivered to your home, and those who need it can complete the assembly of their own vehicle according to the instructions and animation tutorials after receiving the goods. It's like a puzzle or building blocks. Liu Sen took the drawings and other relevant technical parameters and called Chen Tianxiang in Rongcheng. After hanging up the phone, he took a car to the Rongcheng government. Chapter 98, Discovering a Major Problem. You are listening at NovelFold.audio. At the Rongcheng government, Liu Sen explained his ideas and goals, and wanted to approve another piece of land to build a factory near the previous semiconductor factory. The result was soon obtained. Rongcheng had already planned the land nearby in advance, but it did not bid for it externally, and was also afraid that Yidian group would need it. After all, Liu Sen had previously told the government about the future plan, which would involve a lot of industries, all of which would be physical manufacturing, so some land was reserved. He directly invested 10 billion to start building the factory. This time, Liu Sen did not take all the money directly from the company, but took a loan from the bank. The construction of the factory was accelerating. At this time, the Modular team sent a message that the modular car had problems during operation. It turned out that Chenggang, at the suggestion of everyone in the team, conducted a high-intensity test on the test vehicle. They pulled the car to an internal site dedicated to testing vehicles, and tested it in various environments. Under the networking operation of multiple accessories, the system became stuck under high intensity, and this system was the original car system. The original system only needed a few parts to be dispatched, but now all the instruments on the car have problems running together. So a system that supports multi-threaded collaboration must be used. Liu Sen heard the report and fell into thinking. He thought that modular cars had no problems, but he didn't expect that it would appear on the system. Where can I find this system that can work with multiple threads? If I study it myself, it will take a very long time. Even if I have my own golden finger, it will take several years. Foreign systems are simply impossible to use. His goal is to become a powerful country, and even these will be used in space in the future. Safety must be taken into consideration. Liu Sen sat in the office, watching some problem summaries and related videos sent by Zheng Gang. Clicking on the video, I saw the BYD modified test car speeding on the road. When turning, it was obvious that one of the wheels suddenly stalled, and then the car lost control and hit the tire wall on one side. The airbag exploded instantly. It took a while before I saw someone running to rescue. This was an accident caused by the test. Liu Sen stared at the screen on his mobile phone and had a headache. It was really tiring to make a car without chips or systems and do everything by himself. When will it be the end of conquering one by one? I feel a little tired, but I think of the efforts of the country's predecessors. They developed from a poor era to today. He developed under the foundation of a strong country, so what can he complain about? He sat up straight, took a deep breath, and then slowly exhaled. He held the phone tightly and waved it a few times, trying to get rid of his troubles. His hand stopped in an instant, and Liu Sen's eyes were fixed on the phone. Isn't this Hongmeng system a natural multi-threaded distributed collaborative system, and it is also made in China? Huaban developed it by himself when everything was controlled by foreign countries. And how similar it is to his own situation, without any support from anyone. It all depends on his own research breakthroughs, not to mention asking other domestic companies to support. Just asking them not to add insult to injury and stab them in the back is their greatest hope. Liu Sen couldn't help but sigh. Although the current Hongmeng system is very good, since he wants to use it, he must use the best. I clicked on the properties of the phone and checked the Hongmeng system. Although it was displayed, the properties of the Hongmeng system could not be modified. What is the reason? I have never encountered this before. Liu Sen stood at the window of the office, thinking about this problem. Suddenly, he thought of one thing. Although the phone was his, he only had the right to use the system inside, not the ownership, so he could not modify it. Could it be that he could only cooperate with Huaban, or did he need to buy Huaban's Hongmeng system? An idea flashed through his mind, and Liu Sen walked directly to his desk and sat down, and directly entered a website with a desktop computer. This website is the Open Atom Open Source Foundation, which contains the open source Hongmeng system donated by Huaban. This can be used by everyone, and can be directly changed or optimized on the original basis. After some searching, I finally found all the codes, and after a while, I finally downloaded it. At this time, Liu Sen clicked on the property display again, and a flashing point appeared in the properties of the Hongmeng system, directly raised the properties of Hongmeng from 2.0 to 20.0. Countless information poured into his mind, and Liu Sen felt like he felt a torrent of data, constantly washing his brain. It took a long time to recover from the trance. Liu Sen closed his eyes and sorted out the knowledge, and verified it with the relevant knowledge he had learned before. This time the progress was a leap forward, and even the underlying architecture of the Hongmeng system was optimized, or this cannot be considered an optimization, it is completely different. Even in the program, only some shadows of Hongmeng can be seen, and the rest are completely different. The new system is very compatible with other systems, and there will be no delay or lag when multiple threads run at the same time, and the security of the system has also been comprehensively improved. Liu Sen immediately used the program in the computer to modify the original 2.0 program. He will not launch the 20.0 version directly. This is too advanced, and some functions are too advanced. The current chip is very difficult to run, which is a waste, and it is easy to be learned by foreign countries. It may not be possible for foreign countries to crack it, but they can still learn some basic knowledge from it, which will be a great improvement for them. This version will not be good for the software capabilities of the whole society and the country. It needs to be done step by step. The current version is not understandable to the current top programmers. The architecture and language are not the programming languages used now. Liu Sen modified the 2.0 system. His brain and physical fitness made him incredibly efficient. He quickly adjusted the program and made it reach version 5.0 that people can understand now. This version is 30 to 50 years ahead of the world. This can meet his current application needs for a long time. Liu Sen directly encapsulated and encrypted the system at multiple levels, making it impossible for anyone to crack it. He named the system System 0. He sent the completed system to Xinjiang and asked them to modify it based on this system to adapt it to the car system. Then Liu Sen modified the system again. This time, he used the pure domestic Hongmeng architecture, eliminated the original foreign references, and improved the system performance to 4.0. This 4.0 is completely different from the 4.0 that Huaban said, and the difference is at least 20 years. He packed all the content directly, encrypted it and sent it to Yudazue, picked up the phone and called Yudazue. "Old Yu, I just sent you a file. It is very important. Take a look at it yourself. You know the password." Liu Sen didn't say any nonsense. After the call was connected, he got straight to the point. "Brother Liu, okay, I'll take a look right away." Yudazue opened the mailbox, saw a very large file in it, and started downloading it. Chapter 100 Liu Sen's Plan. You are listening at NovelFold.audio. Countless netizens saw that the people in the video could connect and charge at will, and they were very moved and envious. The current technological development is really too fast. This is something that only our country can do. Everyone is full of pride. At the same time, countless people want to get the same treatment, and their cities must also popularize it. Many people have left messages on the official accounts and Weibo of the local power department, requesting that the construction of wireless power be completed as soon as possible. The official accounts of various places have never enjoyed such eye-catching treatment. So many people are paying attention to it at once, and this time they were caught off guard. Even the hotline setup could not be dialed at all. They did not expect that anyone would call this number at all, so they had to change the hotline again urgently. After counting the requirements of the citizens, they immediately contacted their superiors to inquire about their city's plans in this regard. There are also many people on the internet who saw the videos posted, charged their mobile phones from 10% to 100%, and then checked the electricity consumption statistics in the worry-free electricity app system. It took 1 hour to charge and a total of 0.02 kilowatt-hours of electricity was used. Netizens calculated that 0.55 yuan per kilowatt-hour of electricity, so 0.02 kilowatt-hours of electricity, a total of 0.011 yuan. The announcement of this price shocked everyone. Their mobile phones actually cost about 1 cent a day, so the 1 yuan given by Yidian Group can be used for several months. At the beginning, many netizens criticized Yidian for being too stingy. Other companies' apps give away taxi coupons, takeaway coupons, point coupons, etc., and they give away several yuan at a time, and they keep giving away. Yidian only gives 1 yuan, which is simply stingy to the extreme. Some time ago, it just said that it had completed a small achievement and earned 250 billion, as a result, it only gave 1 yuan. Many netizens said that even if I have killed 4 people and am chasing the 5th one with only a little blood left, and it prompts that it will shut down in 30 seconds, I will not use Yidian's wireless public power charging. They thought it was only enough to charge their mobile phones once or several times, and they kept spitting foul words on the internet. Unexpectedly, after the analysis of the experts, I found out that Yidian is the most practical. After all, other companies give more, but they can't support their consumption once, while the money given by Yidian is enough for consumption for several months. Unlike Penguin and IE websites, they have to recharge membership fees every month, and they keep raising prices and have advanced on-demand. The latest popular Dream Flower record finale, if you want to watch it, you have to pay. Immediately, many people began to delete their comments and brushed 666. There was also the one who said that he would not use wireless charging even if he gave up the pentacle, saying that he would definitely support Yidian. Oh, my God, it smells so good. At this time, another post was pushed to the top 10 hot searches. Shocked, the electronic RMB in the Yidian account is actually real RMB. Many people clicked on this post and saw the blogger's explanation. He upgraded the worry-free electricity app, and after registering an account, he saw 11 yuan of electronic RMB. He was very curious whether this was given by Yidian Group. After thinking for a long time, he remembered that he had downloaded the electronic RMB software before, and immediately went in and saw 11 yuan in the account. It turned out that he had 10 yuan in his account. He recharged 10 yuan out of curiosity when he downloaded the electronic RMB. Now it has become 11 yuan. He checked the account information and was prompted to transfer 1 yuan from Yidian Group. Then he used this money to buy a pack of 11 yuan cigarettes, and the payment was directly displayed as successful. This Weibo made many people see that Yidian's gift was not a gift of coins or tokens, but could be consumed directly. Many netizens thought about how much money Yidian spent on this move. Although one account only gave 1 yuan, how many people are there in the country and how many people are there in the world? Now there are nearly 2 billion people using the worry-free electricity app. This is not more than 2 billion yuan. This is not comparable to those merchants who give coupons. The coupons given by those platforms are full of discounts, but they are actually borne by the stores on the platform, and have nothing to do with the platform. These platforms have not paid any costs, but they still shout that they have lost hundreds of billions every day. Even during the Chinese New Year, the so-called Spring Festival red envelopes issued by some large companies cannot compare. You have to know that in order to get those red envelopes, for a few yuan, it took half a month to Get them, while some people are still sighing at the generosity of Yidian, some people who like to take advantage of loopholes and get will saw the opportunity. After everyone updates the worry-free electricity app, they will get 1 yuan for registration. They began to pull people everywhere, and some people who had never downloaded and used worry-free electricity began to download and register. And then the 1 yuan in the account was transferred away. These people earned dozens or hundreds of yuan in one day, and some directly earned thousands or tens of thousands of yuan, and some people who like to show off posted his way of making money directly on Douyin, and the video became popular immediately. More and more people began to join this wool-pulling action, and the number of domestic users directly skyrocketed. Office of Yidian Group. Mr. Liu, the background monitoring just now found that the number of users of worry-free electricity app has increased rapidly. This is very abnormal. I checked it online and found that someone was getting wool. Chao Lei looked at Liu Sen and said with a somewhat anxious tone, because this would cause the company to suffer direct losses of more than 1 billion yuan. Chao Lei has a strong sense of belonging to the company. He is one of the earliest employees. Because of his outstanding ability, he is now in charge of the development and operation of the worry-free electricity app. Liu Sen smiled slightly after hearing Chao Lei's report and waved his hand. It's okay, let them get it. This was originally given away. It doesn't matter if they find it and use it. It's a good deal to buy a new user for 1 yuan, and these users will soon use his wireless power network, which no one can escape. Now register and get the wool, and then stop using the app. It's impossible for him, and he will start using it sooner or later, when his wireless power transmission network covers the whole country and the world, who will not use his app. When there is no money in it, he will definitely recharge it, and his worry-free electricity app can only use electronic RMB, so the use of RMB will gradually cover the whole world. Then the world's recognition of RMB will also increase, and RMB will become a world currency, increasing its proportion in world trade settlement. All his plans will be realized slowly, and he wants to lead the country to become the strongest. Moreover, 1 yuan can last for a long time compared to the current electricity consumption, but after getting used to the fact that the mobile phone will never run out of power, the power consumption of the mobile phone will definitely increase. At that time, 1 yuan can last for half a month, which is very good. Readers, do you think about the use of traffic and phone bills after seeing this? Launching an activity to give you 30G traffic for 1 yuan, and restore the original price after 3 months. These 3 months have cultivated the habit of users to use traffic. When the activity ends, even if you save traffic, you will use about 15 to 20G of traffic, and you will find that you will spend 30 yuan more on phone bills every month. Liu Sen also has this idea. By that time, if there are 2 billion users, the mobile phone electricity consumption in a month will be about 2.2 yuan, so 10% of the electricity bill is 200 million yuan. With the current number of users, there will be a monthly income of 200 million yuan, and this is just the electricity consumption of mobile phones. You must know that when all electrical appliances are wireless in the future, the number of users and electricity consumption will be terrifying. You should know that the current daily electricity consumption of China is 27.187 billion kilowatt-hours, so Yidian will charge a 10% handling fee, which is 1.495 billion yuan a day. Of course, there will not be so much. There are many high-power electricity consumption in this area that Yidian cannot support at present. Now it can only provide civil and household power supply, but the future prospects are still very promising. You should know that Liu Sen has also laid out solar power generation. The solar energy he developed has such a high power generation capacity, and then it is connected to the power grid for power supply. How much income will be, it is simply unimaginable. Of course, Liu Sen did all this not for money. Money is really dispensable to him. He wants to drive the country to be rich and the people to be strong. Why do Western countries have such high welfare? Isn't it because of their technological leadership? Everyone pays them. Now he wants the whole world to pay him. Therefore, he has to operate step by step, and all the money he earns will be returned to society. Agricultural cooperatives are such a product. Of course, it is also to get rid of dependence on foreign seeds and grains.